Ba 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 da. Do 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 do. What is up, YouTubers? And it's your boy Anthony Davis here, getting ready to do. Finally, the moment is here, guys. Bow. My latest review for Power Rangers MegaForce. Now, this will be my first episode of me doing like my first, actually, a matter of fact, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a review for Power Rangers, but for Power Rangers Megaforce, but then I'm also gonna do random episodes later on, which means you'll get both me talking about Power Rangers Megaforce as a season in each episode, and then you're gonna have me talking about episodes of random Power Ranger episodes, and then do it up until Samurai, which is gonna be kind of hard because I can't stand Samurai. But I have to say, oh, I need some water, huh? Much better. But I have to say this: Megaforce was good. I'm not even kidding. It was actually decent. I did not cringe watching Power Rangers Megaforce whatsoever. Sure, there were a couple lines like, and then there were a couple times where they paid homage to Power Rangers too much. But hey, it was still good overall. Okay, so at the beginning of the episode, we get a preview of the Legend War. We saw maybe like 5 seconds of like American footage with some of the Power Rangers. We saw, I think I saw the Samurai Red Ranger, some of the Mystic Force Rangers, Jungle Fury, and I think I saw a few more, but I think that's so far. We also saw a little clip of the Lightspeed Rangers getting out of an explosion, but that was actually just footage from Gokaiger in one of the early episodes of them using the Goko 5 powers, aka Lightspeed powers. And then we see them fighting and stuff like that. We saw a little bit of Samurai Red, and then we saw Leo, aka Lost Galaxy Red Ranger, using his fire powers and stuff like that. Saw Wild Force Rangers, and after that, there's all a dream from our main Red Ranger, Troy, which his acting is a little dry. I mean, maybe he'll improve later on, like maybe like the next couple episodes, but like as of right now, he's the only one that's lacking. But I feel that he can actually do better. I think maybe like I heard some people say like he was on some kind of like Botox, I think. So maybe if that was the case, then hopefully he can just improve better than that. Because I saw a clip of the next episode, and his acting got a little better, especially with the ADR voices and stuff. But enough of that. We'll talk about the second episode when I get to the second episode. Okay. So he wakes up, and the bus driver's like, honking his horn, telling him to, get up, boy, it's time for school and stuff like that. Gonna be late for school, and he's like, weird dream, and he's like, oh, let me go ahead and get to school, whatever. And then we see the intro, and of course, it's it's they use it rehashing the Go-Go Power Rangers theme, but just add a little bit of a small bit of lyrics to try to like maybe seem like, oh, it's a new song, but really it's just MMPR Samurai version, just ramped up, and just the lyrics have changed just a tiny bit. It's still some of the same person, but they say they Megaforce, for some time. And it's like, really, y'all could have, thought it's better. I would not have hated this song so much if they had just not have used it for Samurai. All they had to do was get them a new season, but no, Saban just had to use it because he was so happy that the Power Rangers is coming back and blah 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 blah. Fan service, we're bringing back to his roots, whatever. I mean, Saban, it's the year 2013. Get some some freaking lyrics for your songs. Jesus Christ, you're making RPM's Get in Gear sound like a masterpiece, for Christ's sake, because it's original. It had lyrics. That was not Go-Go Power Rangers. It was just Get in Gear, Get in Gear, Get in Gear. But whatever. I'm sorry. Let me get to the review. Okay. So what ends up happening was that they're talking to the teacher, Mr. Berkeley, I think his name was, the guy with the glasses, old guy. Um, Troy ends later on, but we see the four Rangers, they're talking and stuff, to the teacher. The teacher asked them a question about what species would survive all others. Emma, the Pink Ranger, raises her hand and says, I think insects, because, well, she's a nature lover and all that stuff. And then our genius Blue Ranger, Noah, raises his hand, and he's like, she's wrong. Robots are. And Gia, the Yellow Ranger, she is like, well, robots aren't a species. And you could kind of say that's true, but at the same time, it's like, well, I mean, for both their answers seem kind of like why would, I mean, I could say in Emma, she said insects, but I kind of giggled when she said that. Robots, I'm like, no, okay, you're the smart one. You should have, automatically known this. I mean, just saying. I'm not saying no one's dumb and all like that, but for his answer. But I mean, you think about it like that. He's supposed to be exhibit, intelligent. Why am I saying intelligent? He's not supposed to, he's supposed to have, the lingo of an intelligent person. You see, it's kind of like how Billy was when he was on Power Rangers. Not necessarily has to copy him, for word of how he, explain the words and stuff. But, maybe come up with a better answer, and then the teacher's been like, yes, that's correct, and blah, 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 and whatever. And then Troy comes in, and the teacher asks him the same question. And, of course, Troy's going to give him the whole, most cheesiest answer ever, humans. And if we all work together, and he explains why, he asks why. He says, well, if we all work together, I'm sure we can survive anything. And it's like, yeah. And we're like, yeah, sure, okay. But one thing some people have actually don't really get what's in the what was the whole little conversation about the whole thing with who will be the surviving species and all that stuff. Those were actually details of what's going to the next villains, well, the villains of the series. The insects revolve around Warstar, and the evil empire, space empire of insectoid aliens. The second would be the secondary. Well, I wouldn't say secondary machine empire, but it's a new category of machines. And Ghost Sager, its Sentai counterpart, was they were the third villains to face the Ghost Sagers, and they were machines. Alice was the assistant to Robogog, the leader of the Matronus. I don't know how to say it, but it's like saying machine with like mantis or some shit like that. I don't know. It's spelled a certain way. Matronus, or whatever. I'm explaining. But the point is, they were basically giving us foreshadowing of the main villains of the season. That's it. That's all. So after that, Jake, the Black Ranger, talks to his friend Noah, saying that he saw Gia and them going to Ernie's brain freezer, which is this ice cream slash drink drink place or whatever. Like like the juice bar basically. Like how Ernie, from My Own Power Rangers was, but this is a completely different Ernie. This is, played by, who's nothing like Ernie. He's not the same person as Ernie because the actor that played Ernie back in My Own Power Rangers actually died a couple years ago, which is very sad and tragic, and rest in peace. But overall, like those are the only two civilians of the series that, like part of Power Rangers, overall is, well, Ernie's the ice cream store owner, and then we have the teacher at the school. Those two characters. And then he's like, well, let's motor, and it's like, who says motor anymore? Like, for really, it's like, God, these people. I mean, yeah, this is most people like people who have like lived for years and years, but you have to make sure that the language, the way of talking is, coherent to people of this generation. Because no one says less motor anymore. I mean, for real, get some new, lines or something like that, or get someone who's actually like, knows the teen lingo and get them to, you know, write some episodes. Okay, you know, just saying. So afterwards, the aliens, you know, World Star comes in. I'm basically reading out the episodes by, you know, by how it happened. Not in exact order, but I'm reading them as just how the episode is going to be all overall. World Star comes up, Gosei, and God, Johnny 5, Wall E, aka Tenzu, they wake up. You know, it's been some years and stuff, and you know, they get, you know, recruit. He tells them, Gosei tells them to recruit, you know, some teenagers and stuff so they can save the earth and stuff. While Gia, Jake, and Noah are at the ice cream shop, whatever, well, juice bar, whatever you want to call it. Emma is actually doing something productive, and she's actually like in the forest with her bike, you know, taking pictures of like insects and stuff. And then we actually see one of the War Star generals actually like on Earth, and she takes a picture of him. And then, you know, the monster's like, oh, I smell a human. You know, it's like, wow, like she actually is the first one that encounters, you know, one of these monsters, and she can actually confirm what anybody else would tell them, like, oh, they're, you know, the monsters are here. And so Jake and Noah, they're at the ice cream store, and then, you know, he's giving them money for ice cream and stuff like that, which the ice cream that they were given didn't really seem like much for like $6. I'm like, $6 for that little piece of ice cream? That it ain't really much worth it for no, you know, $6 for that. But that's my opinion. It's just how it looked. You know, I wasn't too fond of how the ice cream appeared to me. It appeared like me like he hardly put anything in it at all. It's like one little swirl and that's it. But anyway, so they get teleported. So Gia gets teleported first, then Noah, and then Jake. And as Ernie tries to turn around and give him his money, he's gone. And I bet you everybody's thinking like, well, he's probably gonna take that shit too. He's like, you know, I'm keeping this shit for myself. No, I'm just playing. But anyway, so they're transported. Oh, and Troy gets transported too while kicking a bottle in the air, and he knows the martial arts too, so that's incorporated in there. It was kind of funny because he would try to kick the bottle, but he teleported before he could, and the ball just falls. And it's like, wow, that's kind of sad. But anyway, they're transported, and it's only surprising it's only 4 of them this time. You know, Gia's probably going to be, I say Gia, Emma's not going to be transported there until, you know, a couple minutes later. And so they're in there, they meet Tenzo, and they're like, wow, you know, where is here? And stuff. And Noah's like, well, whoa, it's a full functioning, it looks like a, you know, I have to say full functioning automaton. No, what he actually said was the old school robot. And he says, old school? And I mean, like, and I would say that too, like, yeah, you look like an old school robot. You look like Johnny 5 from Short Circuit. Or Wall-E from, you know, Disney's movies. And it's like, I mean, really, like, you guys couldn't have put up with a better robot than that. But like I said in my last video about me talking about the clips and stuff like that, at least they were trying to be original and make the robot look like something that would be created on Earth. You know, like one of our little robots that we have nowadays, that, you know, those little fighting arena robots and stuff like that. It looks something like that. But now it's like Wall-E and, you know, Johnny 5, whatever. Yeah. Anyway. So they meet Gosei, and they're like, well, you know, why are we here, and blah, 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 and you've been chosen, you know, and Mima comes in there, and she confirms that, well, this guy is telling the truth, and Noah sees the Ranger keys, and he's like, who are they? And it's like, and he's like, well, those are the past Rangers before you. And I'm thinking to myself, well, it's supposed to be continuity. Why aren't they aware of who the Rangers were? It wasn't too long ago since we had, like, you know, Sansu rivers, you know, almost flooding the earth and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, really? Like, y'all don't know who the Rangers are? Over years and time. Pirates have been around the universe for years, and y'all don't know who they are? I mean, and it's like they can't hide the truth, because, I mean, like, they've been attacked on Earth numerous times. There was an alien invasion. I mean, there were plenty of alien invasions. Freaking a giant, you know, I'm talking about Wild Force, that is. A giant orb almost literally wiped out everything and had, you know, his little orb putrid up the ass, you know, everywhere. So it's like, seriously? Like, Y'all know who the Power Rangers are? And as Troy would say it, you know, this can't be right. I'm the new guy. Oh, and he has this little, you know, little flashback of him having that dream because he sees one of the Ranger keys that he recognizes them. And, you know, they're giving them morphers and stuff like that, and Noah asks, like, how do we use these? And he's like, well, you know that in time. And it's like, it's not that hard. Just tell us how to fucking use them. It takes no less than a minute to tell us how to use the cards. You know, all you do is just open the mouth, put a card in there, swipe, put it down, and that's it. That's how you activate them. And then they're transported back to, you know, their regular, back to the area where the Loogies, the evil minions of the series, you know, attack people. And, you know, they try to, you know, with what did I say? Troy and Gia, they know how to fight, so, you know, they're pretty in depth into it. Emma and Jake actually impressed me the most with their fighting skills, because Jake uses his soccer ball to kick the Loogies, you know, back and forth and stuff like that. Oh, he has a crush on Gia too, so that's gonna be in there. And Emma uses her camera to, like, you know, flash the monsters that way that, you know, they can't see, and she can fight them, you know, while they're blinded. Noah ain't really did that much fighting when he was, you know, in civilian form. And then they get shot by the Loogies and stuff, and then they're cornered. And then Troy says, well, you know, Ghosty told us these morphers would give us power, let's just use them. And then there was one little error with the morphing, kind of irritated me, but it's very minor, but I'm bringing it up anyway just because, you know, it's something to bring up. When the Rangers had their morphers and their cars ready, the cars were already visually shown, which means they weren't blank. And like in Ghost Sagers, their cars would be blank first before they activate their, you know, before it transforms and show us what type of card it is. Before they morph, their cards already show their Power Ranger, you know, colors and what the card was. But then it flashed like it was blank, and it's like, why would it flash, even though, you know, we already know the cards are already, you know, aren't blank. They put the cards in, and, you know, as you know, they didn't really, like, try to, you know, hide the Japanese symbol, the Japanese, like, writing with, you know, go say red and all that stuff. But it's something you can look past. I mean, it's just, you know, like I said, Power Rangers is well known for not editing their words and stuff for some seasons, like, you know, like with some seasons like Power Rangers, you know, let's see, I guess in Space, with the M symbol, it looked like a mail symbol, like an email symbol, but it's actually from Mega Ranger. The V, well, I wouldn't say the V from Ginga Man, because you know, that's, I guess, I don't know what the symbol was that for. It's weird. It's weird because they wouldn't explain it. And you know, seasons like that, and so they morph, and it's very quick, and I like how that, you know, they're already in their morph forms. I like how Noah actually has his glasses on until he puts the helmet on. I like that. And they fight, and Jake and Gia are the first ones to activate their weapons, and they, you know, fight and stuff like that. And I gotta say, they handled the Ghost Sager footage really, really well. They didn't really talk that much when they were fighting, only when they, you know, were saying maybe one or two lines saying how awesome their powers are and stuff. But they wouldn't talk the whole fucking battle. That's what I hate about Samurai. But in this, it was quick, and they didn't say much after that, and that was it. They would continue to fight. They didn't, like, you know, rape us with their fucking, like, talking and just, you know, keep talking while they're fighting. Like, you know, cutting ways back home and all that stuff. I hate that. I do not like that whatsoever. No. Don't ever do that again. And then, you know, the 4 Rangers are cornered, and then Troy comes in, and what we saw of him using that little small tornado was actually Alta from Ghost Sager in his normal form. But they edited the footage really good so that we couldn't, you know, see that it was actually just, you know, Alta instead of Troy. I like that. And then actually, this was actually one of the quickest monster fights that the Rangers have fought I've ever seen in a Ranger fight. Because afterwards, after the War-Star generals say like, well, these guys are actually pretty good, you know, they actually decided to send a monster down. So they send Scaraba, the rock, you know, the rock beast or whatever you want to call it. I forgot what he said. He comes in and he tries to take down the Rangers down, but he's shortly defeated after the Rangers use their blasters holders, and they actually use their, you know, there's different blasts and stuff, and you know, manage to defeat him by combining all their mega weapons into a mega blaster and fire it and destroy the monster for good. And then they are transported back to the command center, and then they are given a job well done, you know, everything like that. And Noah makes this comment saying that we got lucky this time, similar to how Billy said that in, you know, in NPR. And Gosei said that lucky had nothing to do with it, you know, they were chosen for a reason, blah blah blah. And then, you know, you guys a new team of Rangers and blah blah blah. And this kind of irritated me too, but it's not that big deal. But it's something you want to hear it, you want to, you know, point out anyway. But it's like when Emma makes the comment about her helmet, how you know, the helmet thing, you know, messed up their hair and stuff like that. Like the Pink Ranger did in My More Power Rangers was kind of annoying. Why? Not because she's a Pink Ranger, not because they were doing homicides for Power Rangers. No, that wasn't it at all. It's because she's a BMX rider. She wears helmets every time she gets on that bike. So it's like, why would she say that? It would have made more sense if Gia would have said it, because she is the perky one. She's the yellow ranger. She's the perfectionist. She's the hot girl that every guy wants, yeah, especially Jake. Why not have her say that instead of Emma? When Emma says it, it makes no sense because, well, she is a BMX rider. She always wears... She wore a helmet while she was out there, you know, filming insects and stuff. And in the opening, I mean, you clearly saw when they show her, they do the whole thing with the name calling thing too. You know, like Troy, Noah, Gia, all them stuff in the beginning of the opening. I hate when they did that. And I didn't like it in Samurai. I don't like it now, but whatever. It's done. But what I have to say is that this overall, with the little errors and stuff in this, you know, this season, I actually enjoyed it, and I'm actually ready to see the next episode too. So I give this overall rating a 4 out of 5, and to be honest, I actually am looking forward for this season. Though I am kind of concerned about how they're going to use the Gokaiger footage for next season. So it's going to be like, well, we already are getting basically the whole Goseiger season, all 20 episodes this season, and then Gokaiger's going to show us the regular, you know, the rest of their episodes in 20 episodes as well. So, you know, it's going to be kind of confusing. It's like, how are they going to pull this off, though? I mean, we're already getting Goseiger this season, and then Gokaiger next season. Are we actually going to get, you know, the costumes? Because when I saw that the command center had 5 different panels, one red, one blue, one pink, one yellow, and one green, and it's like, why is this panel green? He should have been black, you know, because he's the Black Ranger, but it was green for some reason. So it's like, foreshadowing, is he gonna get the Green Ranger powers after all? I mean, we don't know, but we'll have to find out and tune in and see it later. I say that you have to tune in, and I will see you later. Sorry, I've been talking for like 23 minutes now. I'm just getting all like, you know, tongue-tied. Alright guys, I will see you guys later. Peace, sayonara, and be on the lookout for my second episode where I review He Blasted Me with Science. Okay, take care guys. Peace.